Hi, this is Billy, and I'll be going over my Project 2 for CS4020. Mine's is about strong encryptions and communication. Basically going over basically all these companies such as Google um, and Apple are using strong encryptions to be able to protect and store data. And it also makes it difficult for phone thieves and even the government to be able to access that data. So when the government is conducting like a serious investigation of a serious crime, like how does that conflict with the strong protection of our information? So this is my index page. This right here going over what tech companies are doing to protect their data and such, and using encryption to be able to protect that data. And this is my introduction. Going over identity theft a little bit. That's one of the most common and serious crimes that occurs when our social security, for example, or a credit card is used, and that could be used to serious effect, such as I don't know, like stealing a lot of money that that stealing a lot of data by pretending to be someone else. And also, so the ways to be able to combat that is using encryption and to bring us another layer of protection. And the only way to be able to read that, read the data that is encrypted, is to have an unlock key to be able to read the words of the encrypted language. And so going over my background is going a little bit over what encryption, how it all started and what it is. So, encryption basically is the process of changing information in a way to make it unreadable, and the only way to be able to read it is having a special key to be able to translate it back to a readable message. So, going over a little bit about the history of encryption back in like 1976. They go over kind of like the process of encryption a bit, and then there's like examples of how encryption was used, such as Edward Snowden revealing the leak to one of the journalists, Porritas. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but she sent her encrypted emails that only she could read, and she had like a private key basically, where she was the only one being able to access that information that was encrypted. So when it's properly implemented, uh, it can be used to read information that is unaltered, and obviously this raises concerns to the government. It'll increase the rates, increase the cost of surveillance, which makes it basically like if everyone wanted to use security, then everyone or they would have to target specific people, which would limit the spy program in a way, instead of having mass amounts of information on us. The issues that arise, well, the issues, some people believe that government should be able to actually just have all this information available to us. So encryption does like cause a problem because it does increase the cost of surveillance, which forces them to have difficulty if everyone was to have their data encrypted. And then there's the ones that are completely opposite, where the government shouldn't be able to have that kind of right because it violates the Fourth Amendment, at least for people in the United States. And and also with the scandal of the NSA with when Edward Snowden leaked all the information, it is another issue that was risen, that if the government should be able to have that kind of power over its citizens. and going over through the results. Was the interviews I've done for my two friends. One of them was a non-computer science major, and the other one was a computer science major. And they basically had the same thoughts, and I was kind of asking them questions on how they felt about security and what they felt like they could do, and one of them felt like they couldn't do much at all, and the other felt like the one with the computer science background felt like they can do something. And my observation, taking the observations, is from what I noticed is that people who the people who are kind of outside of the computer science area or don't really care about computers too much, I suppose, is they really just like don't care about their protection, and or they just like are uninformed or something like that. While the ones that are they do know about it, they kind of do care and felt something should be done about it. So going over through my opinions, when I heard about the large like NSA surveillance program, I was just kind of disappointed in the government. I believe using encryption is a good way to protect ourselves, as it adds a layer of security, and I do not think like the government should be able to have a backdoor through our encryption program. That's not implemented right now, but there was thoughts about it, and they're trying to push that back in the Clinton era in around 1990s. And I don't think it's ever worth trading our freedom for extra security. Security as in letting the government have information on us. So that's essentially what we're trading up if we were to give up our security. So I think having all of our information encrypted, and if it causes problems for the spy program, I have no problem with that, as I believe our information should be kept private as well, even from the government. So that's my opinion. And the summary is the conclusion of a summary of basically what I wrote, and a conclusion of everything that I felt about encryption, essentially. I mean, it changed the way network security works, and if people were to have most of our data encrypted, then it will give a lot of problems to the government spy program. And but I have to remember, it's only just a layer. It's not completely safe still. I mean, they can still physically, they can install like a virus or something, or install some kind of keylogger, and they can still steal your password, or even if the password is encrypted, or they could physically take your computer and they could still find your password that way. So that was everything. This is my reference page where I read up my information and built this website.